All right, I am back again, and I have Dan Frank with me. Dan, thanks for being here, my friend.
You're welcome, sir. Glad to be here.
I am so excited to get to learn more about you. And Dan Frank just
Yep.
joined our Axiom program not that long ago, and he's been engaging a lot in Axiom on the calls. We've talked a couple of times via the onboarding call and messenger and things like that. And I just kind of want to get your story a little bit on where you started in real estate, kind of where you're at now, and then what made you join Axiom. So, first things first, can you give me a snapshot or give me an idea of what caused you to get into real estate investing in the first place?
Um, so when I was 18,
Uh
I
huh.
remember I remember watching a commercial for Carlton Sheets, and I was like, man, I've got to get into that.
Carlton
And
Sheets. Yes.
yeah, oh yeah. And at 18 years old, and this was in the 19 something something. I didn't have the extra $200 because that was too much back then.
Yeah.
So I never did it, but I always kind of knew that my place someday would be in real estate,
Yep.
and and so I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that book changed my life and the lives of so many millions of people out there.
Truth.
But I knew when I read that the 40-40-40 was just not going to work for me. I couldn't work 40 hours a week, 40 years, and retire in 40%.
Yep.
I'm not cut from that cloth.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody else is, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not cut from that cloth, and so um, that got me to start kind of trying to pursue it. And I've actually had a coach in the past,
Yeah.
and he's a great guy. I love him to death. He's still a dear friend of mine.
Nice.
But
That's
he but
awesome.
he focused a lot more on creative finance. And what I found was that even though I was focusing and trying to do creative finance, about 80% of the money that I was making off of just wholesaling deals that didn't work for creative finance.
Sure.
And and so if I'm trying to not wholesale and still making 80% of the money that I'm making, maybe I need to focus in on wholesaling.
I'm accidentally
And
making a boatload of money. Maybe I should
yes, yeah,
purposely make even more money.
right. Yeah, so that was kind of why I decided to go with Axiom and just really hone in, at least for the time being,
Yeah.
on wholesaling. And as I build and learn, then God, I believe, will show me where to go from there.
True. Yeah.
Yep.
Amen to that. I appreciate it. I truly agree with that and appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. So mentorship and then got into the creative finance and then just like kind of came into wholesaling because really it sounds like you were practicing what we teach, and that is you were just looking at, okay, here's the deal, here's the situation. This doesn't fit for us for creative financing, but we can still make money and serve the people. I mean, is
Right.
that kind of how it went?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you just practiced really well of I'm just going to serve people.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm just going to serve people, and whatever that needs to look like, we're going to make it happen, and I'll pull out all the tools that I have to make it happen.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yep.
So right now, so that's how you got in snapshot, and then you actually answered another question I had. But now fast forwarding to right now, you are really looking at re-solidifying the foundation on wholesaling, and kind of re-attacking that to scale into other strategies in the future. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. In a perfect world, wholesaling will teach me what I need to know,
Yes.
and get me onto, let's say, the next stage.
Yes.
And so at some point in the future, the wholesaling company that I'm working on building now then just
Yeah.
becomes a lead gen system
Yeah.
for, does it fit for this? Does it fit in any of my criterion for these strategies?
Yes.
And when it doesn't, then I wholesale it off.
Yes.
But at its root, at its core, it's
Yes.
just providing me leads where I decide whether or not what I want to do with it.
You know what I love about that, and other conversations you and I have had, is you're looking at this from a place of you are wanting the wholesale company to serve you.
Right.
Right? Like you're not trying to build necessarily an extra job. You're trying to build something that is going to continue to serve you in different capacities and different seasons.
Right.
Like you keep referring to like the wholesaling company, both privately and just now, you've referred to like wholesaling now, like the Axiom way essentially is going to help teach you how to level up to that next level. Even though you've wholesaled in the past, you're not looking at it from the perspective that so many look at it of like,
You just froze on me, buddy.
oh no. Oh no. Let me know when I'm back. Am I back now?
Just now, yeah.
I'm back now. Okay.
You're back now.
I'm back now. We had one of the guys in Ascension. He lives in a rural area, and so whenever we do support calls, his thing inevitably it'll freeze three different times, 4 different times on our call. And so like I know the drill now. Like whenever he says cheeseburger and I hear cheeseburger, then I know we're reconnected again. So like we'll freeze and he'll just be like cheeseburger, 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 and then I'm like cheeseburger, we're back. Okay. So that was one of those moments. Okay. Well, what I was saying is so many people look at wholesaling in a way that they want it to serve them, but they don't understand that yet. Like the way that they go about building it is they're trying to serve it, if that makes sense. Maybe serve isn't the right word, but they're coming at it from a perspective that isn't as healthy. So when you're coming at it from like, I'm going to utilize wholesaling truly. I'm not going to be a slave to it. I'm going to let it serve me, and I will put in the work to make it profitable. I'll put it in the work to teach me, but like I'm gonna let it serve me in whatever capacity that needs to look like based upon the season I'm in. Yeah. I've just picked up on that just with the conversations we've had, and I think that's so cool because that's something I know I did not understand for a long time. I was constantly I had to like hustle and grind. And I don't get that from you. Like you're not in this, like, I have to hustle and grind to make it happen. Like I have to put in the work, but I have other priorities and I'm going to keep a balance.
Right. Absolutely.
That's huge. That's huge. So you've been in Axiom for a minute. What's been your experience or your biggest takeaway so far?
In the first couple of modules, it's kind of all about mindset and getting your thinking right.
Yes.
And so, I kind of went into it going, yeah, I know all that stuff. I know I've got the right mindset. And then as I'm going through it, Todd's going, and what did you think of this? And I, and just, a lot of places in there where I probably should have worn a helmet. Lots of really good information that you don't think about until you're caused to think about it.
Right, exactly. Like it's actually applicable. Like I tell people, I try and remind people and myself of how important that module 1 and module 2 is. Excuse me, because even though a lot of us who have been on the entrepreneurial journey for a while have had mentors, have gone through courses, like we're like, we've got the mindset crap figured out. Like that's kind of the perspective, like the posture we take. But then there's always something more we can learn. And then the way that he presents it, I personally think it's the most important content in the whole program. Because it's constantly resetting us and fleshing things out. And like you said, there's a few things in there that it's like, even experienced entrepreneurs are like, wait a second, I never thought about that before.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know about that about myself before. I didn't know about that about myself. That's interesting.
Right.
That's cool. So you've gone through the first couple of modules. You've had some takeaways there. That's good. Yep. Anything else? What else do you got? If any, I interrupted you. So if you had anything else,
no, you're fine. So, I mean, I'd kind of been, I've got a decent grasp on marketing per se, but I like that Todd goes in depth onto each different type of marketing.
Sure.
And instead of, hey, you can do this, or this, it's you can do this, and these are all the things that you'll have to know within that. Or you can do this, and these are all the things that you're going to need to know with that. These are the people we use. These are the letters that these are the sign, right? And so he does a great job of breaking everything down.
Yeah.
So it's not just some generic go figure it out. It's
sure.
Hey, this is what I found worked for me.
Yeah.
Here's
a choice. Here's an option for you and that you can decide if this is going to fit with you, with your market, etc.
Right.
That's good.
Absolutely.
That's good. That's good. So I am excited to see you continue to learn and grow. I know you've got the previous experience, but like we've been talking about, but it's going to be really fun to see you continue to grow and getting those next deals coming in the pipeline, starting to build that consistency and build that company up. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And then we can come back and do this again after some more deals have come through and the company's been built up. And then we can say, okay, what's next? Because now we can see what's on the horizon next. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Sure. Absolutely.
So my last question for you, based upon what you've experienced so far, if you had somebody that came to you and said, hey, I'm looking at joining Axiom, I'm on the fence, but I'm ready to invest in myself, I just am afraid of the unknown, what would you say to somebody like that?
So I've been around for 48 years now.
Yeah.
And I've kind of learned a few things. And one of the things that I've learned is the people that will tell you the truth and don't, and they're, I don't want to say don't care about your feelings, but they're not worried about hurting your feelings, are the ones that actually care the most. And I'd seen some videos with Jordan, especially, where he's just point blank, if you don't do this, then this will happen, right? And my mom still is a wonderful mom, but she always taught me that if you're that there are consequences to your actions.
Yes.
Right?
True.
If you read the Bible, be not deceived, that for God is not mocked. That which a man soweth, that he shall also reap. If you're sowing seeds that, if the seed that you're sowing is sitting on the couch watching TV, you're probably going to get a harvest you're still going to get a harvest. It's just not going to be the harvest you want. And what Jordan says is, hey, if you're doing this, this is going to be the outcome. If you'll do it, but if you'll switch and do this, this will be the outcome.
Yes.
And so just, in this world where everybody's trying to sugarcoat everything and nobody wants to hurt anybody's feelings, cling to the people that will tell you what the truth is.
Yeah.
Because the truth is the only thing that's going to set you free anyway and make an actual change in your life.
Truth.
Yeah.
Truth. Agreed. Yeah. Those, especially we call that Jordan's garage rants. Jordan used to do a lot of rants in his garage, and a lot of that content came out of the late night garage rants. That's right. Well, Dan, I so appreciate the time. Thank you so much for pouring into the people and into the community. You've been constant and consistent in messaging and in your questions and joining the calls, and it's just awesome to see that. So thanks for being an example to the rest of the community.
My honor.
Super stoked to see you continue to grow, man. Seriously.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great turkey day, and we'll see you
thank you.
Calls.
Thanks.